A beautiful charge.
Whoa,
This is
what
fine. Oh my god, this
what
a save, my guy.
Welcome back again, everyone. We are here with still more Ori action. The last two matches coming up here today, and right now we're going to be seeing Sigma versus Cleanfel. I'm Vol'jin, and I'm joined again by Fant. Fant, you just commentated that last match, but just for the sake of argument, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and if you guys are sick of me, well, too bad. I'm here once again to call out the action with, of course, the one and only Vol'jin. So here we go. This is going to be a match between Sigmasin and Cleanfel. This is both of their first races in the tournament.
Yeah, and Sigma, of course, the highest ranked player in this group, and also one of the highest ranked players in the tournament. His PB is a 30.05. He is incredibly skilled runner at this game, and is going to almost certainly put on a really good performance today. And on the other side, we've got Cleanfel, who is a relatively new runner. We don't really know too much about his execution in game situations yet, since he hasn't done a race yet, but we do know something about his playstyle, right, Fant?
Yeah, he's just like a really, really smart player all around. Sigma is largely responsible for, just being the voice of reason, the guide. I mean, Sigma, if you don't know who he is, you've definitely heard him before because you've probably watched his all skills guide to learn the game in the first place.
Yeah, that's for sure. And on the other side, Cleanfel, his PB is a little bit out of date. We didn't get that updated because he PB'd just last night with a sub 40. So that was his goal, actually, prior to his match against Sigma. He wanted to achieve the sub 40, and he did with a 39.14. So really good job on that. Both runners using keyboard and mouse. Cleanfel apparently is cleaner than Kyrefel, which makes a lot of sense there. Yeah, that's a really bad joke. Anyway,
shout outs to Richard.
Yeah, we'll shut him out, I guess. Fine. Anyway, Cleanfel, other than that, is a pretty new runner, and so we're excited to see what he's going to do in this his first tournament action. Really, of anything. I think he told me that he's done some golf in the past competitively, but this is kind of his first competitive gaming type thing.
That's pretty awesome. I'm really glad he chose Ori. Couldn't have been any better.
Well, what do you think we're going to see here today? Obviously, there's a pretty significant disparity in the PBs, but what are you looking to see on both sides of this matchup?
So I'm hoping to see Sigma put on a good show, just get a really good time, show off some crazy strats, and the Cleanfel just to play well, PB, get a good tournament time to start things off.
Well, that will certainly be what I'm also hoping for. Obviously, it would take quite a lot for Cleanfel to be able to overcome Sigma in this matchup. So we'll be focusing on both of them from the standpoint of hopefully they'll have a clean game and be able to play well here. So Sigma getting started there, and Cleanfel having maybe a little bit of a hiccup here, possibly some sort of delay.
Yeah, not entirely sure what's going on right now. Cleanfel just sitting at the scratch screen. We'll continue on. I see some mouse movements. I wonder if there's an issue going on right now. Until then, we'll try and get that figured out what's going on. But for now, Sigma heading over, going to grab sign, the first skill of the game.
Yep, we're getting Cleanfel sorted out real quick. Well, yeah, Sigma's making his way through this Rhino fight, such as it is. You pretty much just let him take a death real quick. But Sigma's going to pick up the Spirit Flame. Cleanfel getting started. Spotting Sigma a little bit of a lead. Maybe he thinks Sigma's going to need it against him.
So Sigma's just going to try and go through the Frankify here without stopping. Looks like he does. And there we go. Clean is off and racing over to Sign. So going to be a quick, rare high five at the early sequence of the game. There it is.
All right, we're continuing to sort things out, but it's going all right. We'll just continue as the timer did start. Cleanfel had the opportunity to go. It sounds like maybe he just was a little confused about how the Speedruns Live setup works. Meanwhile, on Sigma's side, we are seeing him head towards wall jump, and now him his stream having a quick freeze. So we'll go back to Cleanfel's side, where we're going to see the Spirit Vein being picked up.
All right, there we go. Sigma gonna grab the first keystone, kill the slime for some XP, setting up a quick ghost store, and yeah, clean. This is that was pretty decent, you know, for a newer runner going through. Like, didn't have to stop too much on that fight.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you know, the shot timing is a little bit precise. As you're seeing the ghost store from Sigma on his side, he had a good 1 HP set up there, so you could take that death immediately and respawn with no door present. But the timing for those shots can be a little bit finicky. You can either manually mash out that timing using left click or whatever your Spirit Flame bind is, or you can use the mouse wheel. Not 100% sure whether Cleanfel is using mouse wheel or not, but in either case, you know, making good work of that fight.
Sigma just continuing on. You know, Cleanfel, you know, been some pretty clean movements. God, I did not intend to say that. Oh man, I'm mad at myself. But
wow,
it's going to be tough to avoid that. You know, just outside of a couple little hiccups starting the game, so far no real major issues here.
Yeah, no, both runners doing pretty well. I believe we're getting the runners a little bit synced up as, you know, the streams on both sides a little bit offset due to that weirdness at the beginning. But Clean is continuing on his way down, picks up the 4th health cell, as Sigma did. Sigma, one of the top runners who chooses to take that health cell still. It's only about 3.5 seconds to take in the first place, so it's not a huge deal compared to like taking a later one, assuming you stick with 5 health total.
Okay, yeah,
so
still...
here's... Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, here's Sigma coming down into the wall jump area, and he does take the level up on the way out, so you do not see an explosion coming from him on the way in. He also, I believe, managed to get a clean entry there, skipping that flower, if I recall correctly. But meanwhile, Clean is coming into the wall jump, and look, dude, there's no better word. Come on.
Okay, I'm pulling up a thesaurus right now to try and find something I could say.
Smooth. You can say smooth.
Smooth. All right, smooth it is.
Sigma is smoothly making his way out of wall jump. Now, I'll put you to the assignment of finding a synonym for making his way, because we say that a lot on commentary.
En route.
Sigma progressing out of wall jump, having some smooth movement up these walls, and able to avoid the annoyance of, you know, if you just flub one of those jumps, you end up taking a bunch of time loss. It's easy to accumulate seconds there. Cleanfel also having a good time there and not having a lot of problems either.
Yeah, Sigma en route to Blackroot Burrows, going to do the first little save anywhere here. To skip literally every cutscene in the game, pretty much.
That's right. We'll see that coming up soon. If you're noticing both of us being distracted, it's only because of some minor behind-the-scenes stuff going on related to the technical stuff. But don't worry about that. We're seeing some good play by Sigma so far and some good play by Clean so far. And they're both progressing really well towards their next segment here. There's that Save Anywhere glitch that will allow us to learn an ability while the cutscene starts and then skip it entirely as a result of the reload.
Yep, here we go. BRB for Sigma. One of the most... Oh, that's right. Sigma does this crazy route. I believe that it's called the Slime Genocide Bulletin. What the heck is this?
Yeah, so Sigma's got a different XP round. It mostly is because he actually really hates the jump up to the 100 XP there, and he hates the reload that you have to do in order to get an optimal cycle in Blackroot Burrows if you take that 100 XP. So Sigma opts for this other route where he's just going to kill a bunch of slimes to collect, in the end, the same 100 XP that he would otherwise have gotten. So you see here that he stops to kill that slime real quick. A very short delay. Doesn't really cost him time overall because he's still waiting for the platform cycles in this area. So no matter what, he's going to do some amount of waiting. So this is a pretty good way to make use of that time and overall have a slightly better route for him.
And that's just the type of player Sigma is. You know, he knows so much about the game, just comes off with these really, I'd call this a pretty crazy strat that does anybody else go for this, or is this just like an exclusively Sigma thing?
No, a couple runners definitely go for it. I believe Hydra does. I know Shed does. Wilson, I believe, has adapted in his runs as well, and he wanted to reset a little more than he already was. On Cleanfel's side, real quick, he is making his way through Blackroot Burrows as well. And he's having really no trouble here either. He's had a very safe, I really wanted to say clean, safe trip through Blackroot Burrows. But now he's coming up to the same room, just a little bit behind Sigma, who's about to begin his Darkness cutscene skip.
All right, yeah, no, Clean not too far behind here. Yeah, this is part of the new route, I guess, the new XP route early game. And just place a save here, use the energy, and skip this not too long, but still somewhat annoying cutscene that lights up all of BRB. Sigma will quickly approach Dash, the next skill, and allow him to move pretty fast.
Yeah, and Dash is such a quick skill to use that it's actually faster to stay on the ground if you can and just dash repeatedly as opposed to traveling through the air. So up until now, they've mostly been trying to jump, but at this point, they will be trying to get to the ground as much as possible and dashing. That will apply even later on once they pick up the bash ability. The ground will mostly be the fastest place for them.
And Clean gonna get a pretty decent dash time here, at least relative to the PB. So I mean, really learning the game, picking it up very fast.
That's right. These early sections definitely among the hardest to optimize. You might think the later sections that look so crazy would be the hard ones, and they're certainly very difficult. But these ones can easily just cost you seconds and seconds and dozens of seconds. And in the meantime, Sigma's making his way to Frankie Walk. He's kiting this Frankie across the territory as usual. Looks like he's got a very good jump pattern here. If he gets this right, he can save one jump of the Frankie, which just saves about 2 seconds. That looks like he got it. Very nice. Climbs the wall, gets the energy into the door, and here we go in the Death Gauntlet.
Yeah, this place is always terrifying. I don't care how good you are. Good at dunking the Frankie there. One of the optimizations and going for what's called the Death Glide. Doing a dash glide off of that block there. It's really, really scary, hence the name. High chance if you mess it up of just falling down and, hey, you're back at the dash tree.
He also got a lucky energy drop from the Frankie that he dunked, and that allowed him to make a save a little bit earlier on. Sigma's been telling us that Moon Grotto has been giving him a lot of trouble lately, so it's definitely nice to get that save down and not take a death-to-death gauntlet. Clean is beginning his Frankie walk, and Sigma is almost getting the early Grotto cycle. Cleanfel does get his Frankie walk, so he's into the death gauntlet, and he's got a safe climb, so just a few more things to get through here in order to be totally safe.
And Cleanfel opting to take the slightly lower but much safer route, killing all these little spores here. And Sigma setting up another ghost door, gets like the timed spider shot. I really love how well that works out. Now he's falling in, gonna set up a save here at the end, grab the double jump, do some blind movement over to the left. And Clean just fell into the Moon Grotto. Let's see if, I'm not sure if he goes for, okay.
I believe he won't even be going for it, yeah.
Yeah, that is a really precise trick to pull off, so no, can't blame anybody for not going for it.
On Sigma's side, the wall climbing while the camera is locked far to the right, also a pretty precise trick, and he's able to get his movement really well out of there, so good job by him on that blind movement, and he's making very good time so far. Sounds like he's only about 6 seconds behind his PB as of double jump, which is really impressive given how good of a time he already has in this game.
And I'm sure Sigma has to be feeling pretty good about that. Like as you said, he's been having a little bit of trouble with Moon Grotto lately, just causing him some issues. So being 6 seconds behind your PB and almost out, that's got to be a nice morale booster.
Yeah, not just having good movement there, but also pulling off the first try grotto skip. Cleanfel is now doing his blind movement. Sigma climbing this shaft with the dropping rocks that are not there because of a cutscene skip that we did. And he had a very easy time of that. So he is...
And oh no, unfortunately, sorry to interrupt, Clean unfortunately fell into the water during the blind movement. Not too bad of a death. Still made it over there by the time it saved, and just a little bit of a slow recovery, but he'll be fine. He's out of there.
Yeah, I think he might be at 1 HP right now, but he did just drop a save, so that's going to restore 1. So he should be in good standing at this point. He should be able to make it further on into the grotto skip. There's not a lot that can kill you at this point, but certainly something bad could happen. Hopefully not. And here we go with his grotto skip.
Nice
and
first try.
Also first try. Very nice.
And Cleanfel going to be picking up another health as he makes the save here. So even though you take the damage, by the time you're going through all these cutscene skips, you'll pretty much always be back at full HP. There's a couple damage boosts you're going to do on the way up to the Ginso tree.
So here's another part of this segment of the game that Sigma definitely has had problems with, and that's the climb up that ability cell. Jumping up walls is actually really challenging in this game, optimally at least. You can lose a lot of time very easily. Sigma making this look very clean. He's probably on a very good pace for this particular segment, so he'll certainly be happy with that.
There you go, Cleanfel about to pick up the water vein. At the same time, Sigma's going to be putting it in right now into the Ginso tree as our good friend Gumo attempts to steal it. I still love this every time I see it.
Yeah, the backwards cutscenes. Ooh, Clean taking 2 damage from that dropping slime in Moon Grotto. And fortunately he survives. He also collects a health from that flower right there, so he should be okay again and safe to continue up. He's going to be following the same path with a lot of jumping that Sigma just did, while Sigma is making his way into the Ginso tree. Very vertical dungeon, won't you say?
Yeah, definitely. You know, double jump gives you a lot more like verticality in your movements, and he's putting it to use right here, trying to get this optimal cycle here in the second room. Just like the gamers are on I believe it starts when you enter Ginso, is that correct?
The gamer cycle begins on entering that second room.
Okay, entering the second room, gotcha.
But then it like continues, so it's kind of weird how that works. Cycles in this game are very unusual.
Yeah, makes it through now. Not going to go for the Mr. Rasmus cycle. Requires like an intentional damage boost, save, and another death, but not that
literally
big of a
half
deal.
a second
Yeah,
saved if you do it.
It's half a second.
All right, Clean making his way. He picked up the Thornfelt Swamp Teleporter, so he is nearly at the door to Ginso. Still making very good time. Sigma's going to do this mini boss. He's going to be going for these spammed shot volleys, again using the mouse wheel, which we've talked about a bunch. And getting trolled a little bit by a spawn there. Didn't quite see where it spawned, and it was actually in the bottom right corner.
Cleanfel entering the Ginso tree. Sigma, unfortunately doesn't see one of the spawns there. There's a 1-frame tell on this mini boss that will let you know where he's going to spawn, but if you miss it, he spawns like an annoying spot on the right side. Just have to wait until he pops up again.
So we're talking about Sigma's good pace so far, and he was actually 1 second ahead of PB entering Ginso. Cleanfel is also on really good pace for himself, and he is 20 seconds ahead of his PB. A lot of game left to be played for both of them. Would be surprised more to see Sigma pull off a PB than Cleanfel, but you never know. In a race setting, you know, it's a no reset run, so almost anything can happen.
Yeah, there's still a lot of run left, like you were saying. You know, we barely even scratched the surface here at the Bash tree. Like, you know, Bash is going to change up our movement quite a bit, allowing them to reflect and grab onto enemies. I think, at least for me, after you hit Bash, it becomes a little bit of a safer run. You're less worried about like running into enemies and dying to that, more worried about like running into spikes in the environment. So it's like a different set of things that are going to throw you off.
Yeah, well, that particular hit on the spikes there by Sigma was intentional. He was setting up to save the game at a higher ledge than most players do for their keystone duplication, and he is able to get a clean execution of that. Again, not intentional, but that saves about 2 seconds having that save set up on the higher platform. So a nice little time save by him, you know, kind of indicative of the type of thing that a more optimized runner is doing to save more and more time.
Nice hyperspeed there from Sigma into the second mini boss. I don't even know if you should even call this a mini boss. It's got the music, but really, it's basically a regular enemy that shows up in other points at the end of the game.
So Cleanfel also taking intentional damage at the end of the first mini boss, and that one is to set up his HP for the upcoming Ghost Door. He had a 7-cycle mini boss, which is not too bad when you consider how awkward it can be to catch the mini boss's spawns. And he is moving on to Bash as Sigma is collecting some energy, and this is for another slight deviation in his XP route called Early Charge Dash. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so some of our runners have opted to level up Charge Dash a little early. This will be before heading up into the Valley of the Wind area, like the fast stompless part, and just gives you some more movement options earlier on. You can do a couple more optimizations, and I wish I knew more about it, but I do not do it myself, so I'm not as familiar with it. Sigma now in Swamp entry, didn't do any safety saves, but gets through there, makes it look super easy, gets trolled by the frog, firing a shot in the wrong direction, but still it's through and misses the double bash, so I have to go back up, get another frog shot, and the frog, of course, walking away, being so annoying. And instead, Sigma's going to opt to change his strategy here, bash it over under here, and just do the setup we commonly see controllers do, or controller players do.
Yeah, that was a really good backup by Sigma, so he still ends up getting almost like a first try swamp entry without taking a death, which is the important thing. And he's going to be able to drop a save here, and he's back at 3 HP, so very good job by him. Cleanfel going for his Keystone duplication. His HP was a little high, but he is able to sneak into that spot, take the death while the Keystones are in the door, so good job by him. And he'll be following along to that second mini-boss. Sigma takes a damage boost going up that wall, again, intentional and planned. He was able to have the HP to do that, and he picks up the Stomp Tree.
Yeah, I didn't see Cleanfel rekindle the save. I could have missed it, but not going to matter anyway. Makes it to the top successfully. Does the death, and no hyperspeed, but not that big of a deal. And now he's into the second Ginso mini boss. Given the difference in like the runner PBs, I'm pretty impressed with how well Cleanfel is keeping up here.
Yeah, well, the part of the game where we'll really expect to see Sigma show his dominance, which he certainly has in spades, is going to be the late game where he is going to put on a clinic of movement of the likes that you've seen.
That's intentional.
Yeah, this is very intentional. He's this is part of the early charge dash route. Make sure not to kill this frog with that level up explosion, so he's good on that. But yeah, Sigma is going to be able to show a clinic in the late game, kind of similar to what you've seen from runners like Lucidus, Uncle Ronnie, and Eviona so far in the tournament. And
wow, man,
I do not know how he survived. That laser was on the frame it was despawning, and now we've got the Kuro cutscene skip by Sigma. Very precise lineup. This Bastion, he does not get the skip. He's going to retry it now.
Yeah, if you miss the skip and reload, it'll still save time, but really needs to get it here, and he does. Okay, so still an overall time save versus sitting there watching that cutscene.
Now, note that the lasers were present there because Sigma opted not to skip that preceding cutscene, which is something that many runners are now choosing to do. Oh, no. Cleanfel made a safety save here, and that save might have been after killing the frog, so he... Oh, whew.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, wow, that
was a close call. But gets a little bit too much momentum on the frog. Have to take a death and respawn. This is a very, very difficult trick.
Yeah, these bash angles are very precise. It's practically as hard as Sara Bash as far as you're still manipulating an enemy with your bashes, and you got to make sure that you get him in the right spot and not kill him, and so on and so forth. It's a very similar kind of trick. Cleanfel getting the frog into position, aiming the shot, gets good timing there, and he does break the ceiling, so he will now be in to Swamp.
Of course, this water may look very clean, but no, it is in fact still poisonous because we never did the Ginso escape, probably to the dismay of Cleanfel. It still looks very pretty. I just love this entire section of the game. Like the Ginso escape is so... go on. Something probably important is happening.
Yeah, no, we also did just catch Sigma make a save at that ability cell at the entrance of Valley. That's where he learns Charge Dash, and so you're going to see him making use of it immediately. That's the early Charge Dash route, which actually is probably a wash as far as time. There's not really a clear picture of whether it does or does not save time. Probably about even. But it's really nice to have Charge Dash here. It makes this movement in this area just a little bit nicer. and lets you skip that ability cell there right before fast stopless.
Yeah, and it allows you to do this movement up to the fast stomplet trick quite a bit faster than if you just have your regular set of skills, the air dash and no charge dash. But here we go. See if that shot was good. Grabs the cell, and there it is. Fast stompless, successful for Sigmasin.
Yep, good aim, good execution getting back to the cell. Really no problem for him. He'll be picking up Feather momentarily. Cleanfel making his way out of Swamp, and he will be picking up this ability cell using that precise bash off the frog. Good execution there. And pretty soon we'll be seeing him come to his Kuro cutscene skip. He did skip these lasers, but then opted not to do blind movement earlier, so the lasers are gone. But now we'll see how his skip goes as Sigma is about to begin Sorrow Bash.
Clean gets it first try. Excellent job.
Very nice. And the Sorrow Bash from Sigma gets the burn in the right position, bashes it upwards, charge dash up to catch it, and he's in with excellent execution. And now we're going to see some more rocket jumps. Sorrow Pass is still terrifying. He's only got 4 health. All of his spikes deal 4 damage, and 4 equals 4, which means he'll die if he takes a hit. In fact, he only has 3 HP, so that's actually less than 4. So that's extra death. I'm sure that's a thing.
So what would extra death actually do in the context of Ori Bulgin?
They might have to send you to like a previous save or something. I don't know.
Oh, you have to like exit the game, then load a backup. Oh man.
No idea.
It just deletes your last save. Okay.
In any case, we've come to charge jump here for Sigma. Cleanfel getting out of that 5th energy area using a similarly terrifying version of the escape. That particular section is scary to escape from because the spikes on the bottom section there deal infinite damage. You die if you touch them. There is no amount of health that saves you.
And as if this section of Sorrow wasn't as difficult as it already is, doing it with the menu up you could barely see makes that even more terrifying. Sigma makes it through, performs the Terror Break successfully. Just do the long float up to the Sunstone cutscene, while Cleanfel has made it to the Charge Flame Tree.
Great pace by both runners so far. Sigma is basically tracking with his PB. He's not currently on PB pace, but he's like practically at the same overall pace as his PB was. Like just only very little time losses of the type that you would expect to see in a no reset situation. That Kuro cutscene skip in particular is a pretty annoying one. I'm sure he won't be happy about that, but he's got to be happy with his overall performance so far, and I would imagine Clean is as well.
So Sigma did go for the Petrified Plant there. Is that part of the early charge dash route?
Yeah, that's correct. He needs slightly more XP. He opted to not take the XP that was in the Dorito Cave area, and instead he took the one up from that bulb, and that makes his XP correct so that when he defeats the mini-boss of Misty, which at the rate he's going will come before you can bat an eyelash, he will get the level up that he wants and refill his energy and health.
Man, it's still hard to believe we're already into Misty, and this is what Woolgen was talking about earlier, just all this crazy movement, putting Charge Dash to its ultimate use, going super fast, but down to 1 energy. So not going to be able to make any safety saves, but runner of the caliber of Sigma doesn't really need him here, using all that energy to go fast.
Yeah, this is basically his PB strats as far as I can tell. Like, you're not seeing any race contingency plans here. He is playing exactly as he would in a PB attempt, and he's doing really well. Sometimes what you need when you're on the cusp of a PB, but you just can't quite get it, is you need one of these like no reset situations to just force you to sit down and play regardless of what happens. And Sigma really showing how well he can do in that situation. He's at climb. Cleanfel is on fast stompless.
All right, here we go. Shot is off. Let's see. Is good enough. Opting to do the... Okay, not doing the damage boost. That was pretty scary, bashing off that spider there, and unfortunately misses it, but no sad Celis, so won't have to worry about that. Just has to walk back up, see if he opts to go for a Stompless again, because it is faster than going all the way over and doing the cutscene, but no. Just opting to go over, stomp the rocks the intended way.
Yeah, always a good backup strat is just take the time loss and just go do the normal thing. Try it once. You can always practice it more outside the run situation, but just try it once, and if it doesn't work, no problem. Try it again next run, and you'll probably get it next run. Sigma already about halfway through this back section of Misty, and again, we have not seen a single safety save. This is, for all intents and purposes, a PB attempt for Sigma. You're going to see this rocket jump here up this meatball column. Oh, he takes a hit! That is very scary now. He's on 1 health. This mini boss coming up. Any stray accidental collision with an enemy will kill him. He does take 1 safety save.
And still had enough energy. Gets the time level up, back up to full HP, back up to full energy. Man, that was really scary for a moment there, Religion.
Yeah, that's a terrifying section to take any damage, and there's some strats in which you do intentionally take some damage there. In Sigma's case, he's not planning to. That was just an accident, but still great execution to recover from that and not panic or do anything that would cause him to actually take a death. He managed to escape unharmed, and Clean, meanwhile, is going to be... All right, yeah, he picked up Feather. He's going to be heading into Sara. Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second there.
Fortunately, messes up the bird cycle there, so opted to take a death really quick, reset the position, and go for it again. Having the save up there makes it so it's not too punishing to try a couple times, get the birds in the right spot. This is very, very difficult. Sigma make it look pretty easy, but no, like, your positioning needs to be pretty precise.
Yeah, and this is one of those tricks that is very difficult. And, oh, that's a good position. He is able to make it in. Good job by Cleanfel. And Sigma, meanwhile, doing good work in Blackroot Burrows, making it past this last cutscene skip, using his last ability point, so he's going to be able to pick up Grenade. But yeah, Sarabash, that consistency with that trick is one of the things that really separates the top times from the lower times, particularly getting down to that sub 35 range. It's really hard to do if you're not able to be consistent at this trick. Cleanfel showing that he was able to get it within about, I think, 3 tries, so pretty solid from him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Clean has any energy to do the ghost door here. Not entirely sure. We'll see. Okay, no, I just can't see anything at all, and no, he's fine.
Keep on watching on Sigma's side while Clean's picking up this tree, and you'll see some lovely movement here. He's escaping Blackroot Burrows and softening his butt up on the spikes a little bit, you know, just give him a little bit of a test. Yep, they still kill you. But he does collect a health cell, which does refill his health, and he will not be collecting any more. Knowing Sigma, this is effectively a PB attempt for him. He is going straight to the end.
Yeah, 3 energy, sitting at 5 health. I'm not going to be seeing a runner of Sigma's caliber go for that 6 health cell in Horu here. Just heading on over to the first of our 2 frame-perfect tricks in the escape area. We got Door Warp. Some crazy stuff's happened with Door Warp today. What are we going to see from Sigma here?
Given the way he's playing, he's absolutely on fire. He's a man possessed right now. I'm guessing first try.
Alright, first try. Let's go, Sigma.
Now, when I do say a PB attempt here, he's not on PB pace. It's pretty out of the reach right now, but he is within about 30 seconds of his own PB, so he could get a ridiculously good time here, and that would put him in great position for the bracket seeding. But here we go. Door Warp. First attempt for Sigma, and he got it. That is exactly what we'd expect when you're on such good pace like this. You know, you feel everything flowing, and it's just working for you.
Cleanfel did pick up the Sunstone. There's a small chance if you mistime your level up there that you skip the cutscene without picking it up, soft locking your game. Not gonna have to worry about that here. Don't think we've seen that yet this tournament, thankfully.
And hopefully we never will. That is like the most soul-crushing time loss. But here's Sigma going through the final escape now. He is navigating that lava column. He has whittled himself down to 2 energy, 1.5 now with some interesting strats there at the beginning. He's going to be dashing across here, taking a dip into the poison water. Here we go. It's 4 damage that you are allowed to take, 4 seconds in this water maximum. He makes it, and now for a grenade jump.
A frame perfect trick as the last input to the game. Both the position and
easy.
Looks good.
Beautiful overall run by Sigma. Just absolutely a dominating performance, regardless of who your opponent is. That a performance like that is just absolutely incredible and very difficult to overcome. So really impressive stuff by him. That was a joy to watch.
All right, so Sigma, all that remains is holding right. This is a pretty good time. That is okay. A very good time.
Yeah, no, this is it's better than my PB. This is within about 20 seconds of his own PB, which was a 30.05, and that is an incredible time in any situation, really. So there you go. Sigma finishing up. We'll get that official time momentarily. And it is 30:21. GG to Sigma.
Yeah, that was a fantastic run to watch. And Cleanfel on the way down to the climb tree. Had a little bit of trouble at the beginning of Misty, but appears to have worked through it just a little bit more, and we'll get that nice checkpoint over here.
Yeah, Cleanfel's been having a very solid late game as well. He's not really been, having any of the kind of bad deaths that, would really set him back and really cause him to have a hard time. He's just chugging along. He's making good progress here. Obviously, you're not seeing some of the incredibly fast, kind of breakneck pace strats out of him. You're seeing a little bit more caution, but you're still seeing a very high level of performance as he is not messing up.
Well, a little bit low there. Going to have to go back, grab the Frankie again, but still glad he caught it early, because if he kept on going right, that would have been instant death for him.
Yeah, the great presence of mind there to not only he's dropping a safety save there, he managed to catch the wall so that he didn't take damage from the spikes here. So he's still at full HP. He is he's playing really smart right now, really using his brain.
I want to say something, but I think everybody already knows what needs to be said.
What are you talking about?
Nothing. It's just a word. I'm not going to say it.
Really making use of his gray matter.
Oh my.
So Cleanfel continuing to have a very solid back half of Misty here.
Sorry, I can't think straight right now. Just take it away.
Dude, it's fine. So oh, wow. The dodge on that projectile from that mortar worm, it wanted to coat Ori in a beautiful purple bath of death, but he managed to escape. He's navigating the meatball column again. He's not going for that rocket jump, which is a very terrifying strat and easily can deal 3 damage to you, just like Sigma had. But he does take 1 quick damage from that mortar worm. Fortunately, not a big deal. And he'll make his way to this mini boss. Let's see what strategy he opts to use here. Oh god, the spider shot. Oh god, okay.
Sorry.
Dude, I'm attached now.
So I needed to go grab like a tissue because I was laughing so hard. Tears started showing up in my eyes. It's like, oh my god,
it's I don't know, man. It's kind of rude to be laughing about Cleanfel here. He's putting on a good show.
All right, so Cleanfel now on his way out of Misty.
He's going to do some pretty good movement going out here as well. I like the charge dash bash into the bird there, actually killing the bird, which was pretty good. And now he's going to do a couple charge dashes across this gap, managed not to fall, which would have been really awful. And we're teleporting back to Grotto, Glades, to go into Blackroot Burrows, neither of which is Grotto, to collect Grenade.
All right. Cleanfel opting to take a save there, refill the energy, refill the HP. So we'll have more than enough to do the final cutscene skip here, as well as the save and reload to open the door in the light grenade area. Go. Let's see, maybe Clean will get the Yoka cycle here. Really tough. Like, I think it starts all the way up here, just like getting some clean movement all the way down. I did it again.
The laser cycle actually starts a couple levels down. So he got hit there. That's going to make it pretty hard for him to take it. So he's going to just take the cycle a little bit more leisurely. The Yoka cycle, we do mention this a lot. It's just the fastest laser cycle, and named after Yoka, the incredible speedrunner. Mostly known for Mega Man games, and he's also run this game at a very high level, and he was the one who figured out how to get that cycle coming down here. But Cleanfel opted not to take it. He just took it a little more safely, which is a very reasonable choice. Gets his dash glide over this cutscene trigger and learns an ability to save the game and skip the cutscene.
Yeah, Koba took a couple of attempts to get that dash glide, but definitely better than the slow zone that persists every time you skip a cutscene like that. So you'll see maybe people do like a dash glide for seemingly no reason, but that's to go over the area that the cutscene takes place in, because once you enter it, like, you have no movement, just hold right, and Ori starts walking painfully slow.
Yeah, and so on the way out, you'll also see him dash glide over that. This swinging platform giving him problems. I hate this thing. And charge jump is really unkind. This game, I think, normally gives you a few frames of leeway walking off a platform to be able to jump, which is a pretty common thing in platformers. However, for charge jump, it does not for some reason. So as soon as you walk off the platform, you can't charge jump. No one knows why. It's really weird and annoying.
Oh, for a minute I thought Cleanfel was going to go for that rocket jump there, but not getting the Yoka style on entrance, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit that laser. So glad that ended up not occurring.
Yeah, and that I'm not even sure if that would be something he knows about. That's kind of an obscure detail of some of those strats that isn't easy to find out about. But fortunately, he ended up not going for the rocket jump. Maybe he does know about it. He certainly has proven that he's a pretty knowledgeable player already, so he may have done his research on that particular thing.
All right, there it is. Clean, the final teleporter. I think had plenty of energy, yeah, plenty of health. Doesn't need to worry about making another save there. Just a straight shot to Horu Fields.
That's right, and we'll see him get his chance at door warp and grenade jump, everyone's favorite tricks. And you know, hoping to see good performance out of those tricks. He's on a really good pace, even if it's not PB pace. He's pretty close. His PB, of course, again being the 39.17 that he accomplished last night, and he's showing that he's already able to just repeatedly perform at that similar level. So that's really good. Consistency of this game is very hard to come by at any skill level.
All right, okay, all right, good. For a minute I thought my internet was dead for sure, but nope, Clean still going in, but gets hit. One of these dudes, I think, fell into the fire pits. Yeah, there it was. Unfortunate.
Yeah, quick internet hiccups here, just kind of delaying us finding out what's going on with Clean, but hopefully everything will be working out shortly. Meanwhile, he will be certainly heading towards Horu, hopefully not meeting another death, and be able to get into that door and head into Mount Horu and attempt his door warp.
All right, looks like we're back. All right, so making his way back up, charge dash to the Baneling, makes it through, not getting trolled by the laser there. And okay, let's see if attempt 2, getting past these. What are these enemies called, Wooligan? Is there an official name?
What,
these spinny rock things that shoot fireballs at you?
I think they're turrets. I think that's what they're called.
Okay, turrets. All right, turrets.
We got the truck saying Shooter Magooter.
Shooter Magooter. I like that way better.
In any case, door warp coming up real soon, and hopefully Cleanfel will have a nice quick one. What do you think?
First try. Let's go.
All right. I'm going with third. Might have a little bit of nerves. Let's see.
And
not quite first.
Okay. Maybe we'll get meet the average, get second try here. Okay. I'm gonna stay silent now.
There it is, a third try, dude.
All right. No. Woolgen, just such a smart player, knows the mentality of the runners and their nerves exactly. He's got a heart rate monitor on everybody, knows, okay, this is what it's going to take. I see this, I'm reading the numbers, third try. This is going to be it.
Yeah, I tend to be pretty cerebral about that type of thing. All right, Cleanfel beginning his final escape now, and a little bit slip off the platform, but now he's good. He's going to be doing some charge dashes through here. Just opting for the nice, simple, just charge dash across the gap. Not going for any stomp cancels, kind of an advanced movement technique that you can certainly learn at almost any time, but he wants to just make sure that he is safe here.
All right, so here we go. Clean makes it through, takes some shots from these shooting Magooties here, gets through perfectly fine. Now, this is where that 6 HP is going to come into use. Has 1 energy to pull off the light grenade here. Or not the light grenade. The grenade jump at the end. So that's 2 attempts of throwing the light grenade. Hopefully we see him have it. We get it. Look at that. Only took 4 health of damage, so didn't even need that 6 health, so great job, Cleanfel.
That's very nice. It's a good luxury to have, but here we go. He's going to set up this position, which is very precise on this wall. He's going to aim his jump, and that is a first try grenade jump, and no soft lock for him. He is going to be able to finish up shortly.
A great finish for Clean. Might even say a clean finish.
You probably wouldn't say that.
It was pretty clean. No, outside of the little hiccup on the way to Horu, third try door warp, pretty respectable. making it through first try grenade jump. That's pretty good.
No, I agree. The play was good. I don't think you would call it clean.
Okay, what are you gonna call it? Smooth? A smooth escape?
Buttery.
Buttery smooth. Okay. Man, I'm really hungry now.
All right, Cleanfel finishing up, and we will get that official time momentarily. And we have a 39:59 from his timer. So GG to Cleanfel coming right in there with the sub 40, which, as he had said before, that was his goal, to both before facing Sigma and also against Sigma. So this is like really incredible performance from him, managing to achieve his goals on a pretty short time frame.
Yeah, getting a sub 40, especially that close to a sub 40, he's got to be feeling really good about that.
All right, we're just following up with Sigma and Clean real quick. We're figuring out if they're going to join us for a brief chat. Just got to make sure that we won't end up with any weird Discord echoing audio issues. So we're just sitting tight for that for just a moment. Fant, pretty good race, wouldn't you say?
I really, really enjoyed that. From Sigma giving us a great show to Clean riding Clean as he was picking up the skills. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but it got me every time. Yeah, and just seeing like Clean complete his goal, getting a sub 40. It's always nice to see, even though you're going up against a much better runner, just having like a separate set of goals that you're aiming for in your run. You're probably not going to beat him, but hey, I'm going to do the best I can. Go for a PB, go for a low race time. That's all you can ask for.
All right, we are going to be joined by our two runners, so let's pull them in. We've got Sigma and Cleanfel joining us here. Welcome to both of you. GG on the race, and we'll start with Sigma. Congrats on a very impressive time and showing in this race. And I will just ask overall, because I'm sure you'll share your thoughts. How do you feel about that that performance that you just put on?
It's a little bittersweet because it's a very nice race time, but it really hurt when I killed the 29.
I kind of thought that might be your thought. Aside from the obvious Kuro cutscene skip, what do you think was the difference really for you there?
I lost a lot of time because of the missed double bash on the swamp entry. And I mean, if you took out Kuro cutscene skip and that, it would have been a 29. And then there's a bunch of nice things you could have added in, like, I don't know, getting Grotto Cycle or having a gigantic spaghetti fest in Misty,
I'll throw one more along that same vein to you. Obviously, this is a race. You weren't really going for a PB attempt. So at what point in that race did that basically become a PB attempt? Because that's pretty much what we were saying as you were going. You weren't dropping safety saves pretty much at all, except one right before the Misty mini boss. Like, where did you kind of have that mental shift and decide, holy crap, I'm on good pace, let's go?
I just treated it as a PB attempt up until I missed the Kuro cutscene skip, and then I was like, that's over. But I still wanted to finish out strong because, race times are valuable. And I think, like, I played it kind of with the strats that I would play any race. Like, I'm not going to safety save in Sorrow. I don't need it. I will safety save in Misty if I take damage, which is what happened, and it's what I did.
Well, that gives you something to shoot for in your upcoming group stage races. Get that 29. Got 2 more opportunities there, so.
Yeah, that's the dream.
All right, throwing it quickly over to Cleanfel for a question. So, you finished. You got your sub 40, 39:59.
That's the closest sub 40 you can get, man.
Yeah, how do you feel about that when you saw that show up on your timer?
All right, so we had a little bit of a mess up going to Horu, but I was still like, all right, it's still gonna be a pretty good time. And then heading to the grenade jump, I just quickly glanced over, and I'm like, wow, I gotta get this first time, or else I'm probably gonna be above 40 minutes. So I don't know what happened. I went ahead and got grenade jump. So
You just nailed it, dude.
and I usually get that the fourth try. Something happened, I guess. But no, I'm very happy with that. That was basically my goal. Because when I was kind of done with Hollow Grove, heading over to Valley, I already saw that Sigma was in Sorrow. I'm like, all right, let's just have a fun time here. So that's what I went for. I was like, all right, if I get 30, if my PB's at 39, that's might as well let me shoot for a 39 time. That's what I got.
Yeah, it was a really impressive performance in the end, especially. You know, it's really tough to have that consistency to be able to not constantly die, and that's like one of the first barriers. As a runner for a grand total of, like, I think you said 4 weeks, how have you approached that and gotten over that to be able to get already to the sub 40 level?
It was definitely the first part was definitely a learning curve of that. Am I really just gonna jump into this tournament and compete with all these guys who've been competing for years? It was like, it definitely, like, I totally felt like a rookie, and I had to get over that fact that hey, everyone starts at some point, and my point is gonna be right now. So thanks to Sigma's guide about basically since he had like 14 parts, that's what I did. Once a day, I would learn a part, and I'd master it, and I'd move on to the next, and I just kept going and going until I was able to finally get a time in about 2 days before the tournament ended there.
Yeah, so we got the master and the student here. So, you know, going off of that, you know, Sigma, you know, any advice here for Cleanfel going forward in the tournament?
Just keep going. I mean, you're on an amazing pace of improvement. It definitely took me much longer than 4 weeks of worry to have a sub 40, so you're doing very well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see the rate of improvement of the new runners these days, where it's just like you're getting the sub 40 already. Siki also got a sub 40 starting in the beginning of February. Rainbow Poogle well on her way. Just, it's absolutely incredible to see how quickly all the new runners are improving. That's my favorite thing about this tournament, I think.
No, yeah, it's definitely. I wasn't able to experience last tournament, but just seeing how there's 71 people all with a love Ori, I really like that, and I was like, I might as well join in.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up here for this conversation and this race. Fant, you got any final thoughts for us?
Nope, just it's not over yet. We still got, I believe, one more race scheduled after this.
That's
right.
right.
To pull it up here. If you have it up, go for it.
We got the Stymon 456 versus Mills Mess coming to you out of the Valley of the Wind group, and that is going to be commentated by Melda and Tarragon and our very own Cleanfel, who just finished that race. So hopefully the good feelings from that sub 40 performance will propel you to a solid commentary coming up.
I'll get ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Good luck, man.
All right. Well, thanks again, Fant, for joining me for commentary today. It was super fun.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man.
And we'll be heading off now, but stick around. In about 6 minutes, we'll be back. It's Meldon and Cleanfel, and we'll bring you Stymon versus Mills Mess.